You know, it's something we don't think about often, but only 3% of seniors after 70 can still do the simple things most of us take for granted. Have you ever wondered what it takes to truly live a long, healthy life, one where you don't just survive but thrive? Well, in today's video, I'm going to share 5 simple things that the 3% of seniors who live to be 100 still do every day, and why you can too. Now, you might be thinking, it's too late for me, I can't do what I used to do. Believe me, I've heard it all before. But let me tell you something. Age doesn't have to stop you from living the life you want. Whether you're in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s, there's still time to make changes that will help you feel better and live longer. But before we get into these 5 things, let me ask you, have you ever felt like your body is slowing down? Like you're losing your strength, your balance, or even your ability to do the things you once loved? I've been there too. I know exactly how it feels. But I also know this. There are simple, small changes you can make that can transform the way you feel in your later years. If you're ready to learn the 5 things that could help you not just survive, but thrive as you age, make sure to hit that like button and let me know you're ready to live your best life. I want to start with the very first thing that the 3% of seniors do to stay healthy. It's something that most people overlook as they age, but it's critical. Mobility. If you're not able to move freely, if you're struggling to get out of a chair or climb a set of stairs, it's a sign that something's wrong. But I'm not just talking about physical limitations here. I'm talking about freedom. If you can't move around easily, your independence starts to slip away. And that, my friend, can be dangerous. But here's the good news. You can change that. You can maintain or even improve your mobility as you age. You don't need to be able to run a marathon or lift heavy weights. But there are simple things you can do every day to keep your legs strong, your balance steady, and your energy high. I want to introduce you to Betty, who lives in Ohio. She's 74 years old, and just a few years ago, she couldn't walk more than a block without feeling out of breath or worried she might trip. But Betty made a choice. She decided she wanted to stay active. Every morning, she does a simple 10-minute stretch routine and goes for a walk around the block. Now, she not only walks every day, but she's also back to dancing at family gatherings and even traveling the world. Betty's story is proof that it's never too late to take control of your mobility. So here's tip number 1. If you want to live longer, keep your body moving. Start small. Just 5 to 10 minutes a day of stretches, walking, or even light strength exercises can make a huge difference in how you feel. At this point, I'm sure you're wondering, what else can I do to keep my body in top shape as I age? Don't worry, I'll share more tips. But first, take a second to think about your own life. How many days have you felt like your energy is low, or you can't do the things you used to? If you're feeling like you're losing steam, that's okay. But don't wait. Start with small changes, and you'll see results faster than you think. Before we move on to the next tip, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you want to start doing to improve your mobility or health today? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your journey, and together we can encourage each other. Now, let's move on to tip number 2. Now let's talk about something that doesn't always get enough attention as we age, our minds. When we think of aging, we often focus on physical health, but our mental sharpness is just as important. In fact, it's one of the key factors in living a long, healthy life. The 3% of seniors who live to be 100, they keep their minds sharp by constantly engaging their brains. You see, it's not just about staying physically active. It's about mentally stimulating yourself. And that's where the magic happens. People who live long lives don't just passively get older. They stay mentally active, keep learning, and keep challenging their minds every single day. Now, I know what you might be thinking, but I'm not as sharp as I used to be. My memory isn't what it was. And hey, I understand. But here's the good news. It's never too late to improve your mind. Just like any muscle in your body, your brain needs exercise to stay strong. Let me tell you about George. George is 80 years old, and he's one of the sharpest people I know. A few years ago, George started doing something simple every day. He began reading for 30 minutes before bed. Now he reads books on history, science, and even fiction, and he's constantly learning. George says he feels more mentally sharp now than he did in his 60s. But it's not just about reading. Crossword puzzles, learning new skills, or even playing an instrument. These activities challenge your brain in different ways and keep it from getting stagnant. So, here's tip number 2. Keep your mind engaged. Pick up a new book, try a crossword puzzle, or even learn a new hobby. Engaging your brain keeps you mentally strong, and it can help you feel sharper, happier, and more confident as you age. You may be thinking, I don't have the energy or the patience for that. But trust me, even just 10-15 minutes a day of doing something that engages your brain can lead to huge results over time. At this point, I want to ask you, what's one thing you've always wanted to learn? Maybe it's painting, playing an instrument, or even just learning a new language. Let me know in the comments below, and we can all support each other in keeping our minds sharp as we grow older. Now that we've talked about keeping our bodies moving and our minds sharp, let's move on to tip number 3. Let's move into something that may surprise you, your relationships. Believe it or not, one of the most important predictors of how long we live isn't just about what we eat or how much we move. It's about how connected we are. That's right. Loneliness kills, and staying socially active might be just as important as any vitamin or workout. The 3% of seniors who live past 100, they don't do it alone. They have strong social ties, people to talk to, laugh with, share stories, and yes, even argue with sometimes. It's that human connection that keeps the heart and mind alive. I'll tell you about Eleanor, who's 81 and lives in Oregon. For a few years after her husband passed, she became more withdrawn. Her health started declining, not because of illness, but because of isolation. She told me, I didn't realize how much I needed people until I stopped being around them. Then, she joined a small knitting group at her local senior center, just one afternoon a week. But that group turned into friendships, and those friendships gave her new energy. Her doctor even noticed her blood pressure dropped. Eleanor says it saved her. Social connection isn't just about feeling good. It's about staying alive. Studies have shown that isolation in older adults is linked to a higher risk of heart disease, stroke, depression, and even early death. Yet so many seniors spend most of their days alone, with nothing but silence and a television for company. So here's tip number 3. Stay socially connected. That doesn't mean you need to be out every night or join a dozen clubs, but regular contact with people, whether it's friends, neighbors, family, or even a weekly phone call, can make all the difference. And don't be afraid to reach out. People aren't as busy as you think. They're just waiting for someone to make the first move. You can be that person. A short chat, a shared coffee, even a friendly smile on a walk. It adds up. Connection fuels life. If this resonates with you, and you know someone who might need to hear it, share this video with them. You could be the one to reconnect someone who's slowly slipping into silence. And who knows, it might be the nudge they need to start living again. Now we've talked about mobility. We've talked about mental strength. And now we've added connection, something deeply human and deeply vital. But we're not done yet. Let's keep going and look at tip number 4, which might surprise you even more. Now we've covered your body, mind, and social life. But what about the basics? The foundation? We've all heard that what you eat and how you move matter. But in reality, these choices are the most powerful tools you have in your longevity toolkit. If you want to live to 100, you've got to make healthy lifestyle choices every day. The 3% of seniors who live to be 100 don't follow any fancy diet or extreme workout routine. They keep things simple: balanced meals, moderate exercise, and a focus on longevity. They eat mostly whole foods, fresh fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats like olive oil. But it's not just about what you eat, it's about how you live. I'll share with you the story of Tom from Florida. Tom is 84 years old, and while he's always been active, he made a huge lifestyle change when he turned 70. He started focusing on eating clean, cutting out processed foods, and eating more plant-based meals. He also started walking daily, and even began doing light strength training exercises. Now Tom doesn't feel like he's getting older. He feels like he's getting stronger every year. But here's the thing. You don't have to make drastic changes overnight. Small shifts in your diet and exercise routine, like swapping out a sugary snack for a piece of fruit or taking a 20-minute walk after dinner, can make a big impact. These small habits are the secret to living longer, and they don't require a lot of effort to start. I'm not saying you need to train like an athlete or only eat kale every day, but choosing to eat real, nutritious food and move your body every day, even if it's just a light walk, can help keep you healthy, full of energy, and out of the doctor's office. So here's tip number 4. Make those healthy lifestyle choices. Eat well, move your body, and prioritize your long-term health. You'll be surprised how much more energy and vitality you'll have just by making a few small adjustments to your daily routine. And if you're thinking, I don't know where to start, don't worry. Start by making one small change today. Maybe it's choosing a salad over fries or taking the stairs instead of the elevator. Little changes lead to big results. Before we move on to tip number 5, let's take a moment. If you've been inspired by any of these tips so far, if you're ready to take that first step toward living a healthier life, make sure to subscribe to this channel. I'll be sharing more tips that can help you make these small changes that lead to a longer, healthier life. Let's keep the conversation going. Now we've covered mobility, mental sharpness, connection, and lifestyle choices, but we're not done yet. Let's move on to tip number 5, and this one might be the most important of all. We've reached the end of our journey, but I want you to think back to everything we've discussed. What does it mean to live a long, healthy life? Is it just about the years we have left, or is it about how we choose to live them? The 3% of seniors who live to 100 aren't the ones who just let life happen. They're the ones who take charge. And you, my friend, have the same power to change your future. You've heard stories of people like Betty and Tom who were once in the same position you might feel in now, struggling to get out of chairs, feeling disconnected, or even thinking that it's too late. But here's the truth. They made a choice. They made the decision to take control of their health, their happiness, and their future. They're not superhuman. They're just people who made small, consistent changes over time, and you can do the same. Imagine this. You wake up one day a few months from now. You've been walking daily, even if just for 10 minutes. You've made time for a book, or maybe you've joined a new group, or you've started making healthier meals. You feel stronger, mentally sharp. Your friends notice your energy, and your family sees that you've got that spark back. It's not a dream. It's the new you in action. And it can start right now. I know it's easy to say, I've tried before, or it's too late for me. But I want you to hear this. It's never too late. Every small step, every choice you make today adds up. And before you know it, those small steps will have created a path to a future where you're not just surviving, but thriving. Let me share something with you. A few years ago, I met a woman named Joan. She was in her early 70s and was struggling with chronic pain, feeling isolated and overwhelmed. But Joan was determined. She didn't want to just sit back and let aging happen to her. She started by doing just 10 minutes of stretching every morning. Then she joined a local walking group. And after a few months, Joan told me, I feel like I've turned back the clock. I'm not just walking, I'm living again. Joan is now in her 80s, and she's still active, full of energy, and socially engaged. Her secret? She took action, even when it felt tough. And so can you. So here's the secret to living a long life. It's about small, intentional changes. It's about the choices you make, the habits you create, and the connection you nurture with others. It's not about being perfect or having a perfect body. It's about staying consistent and showing up for yourself every single day. Here's tip number 5. Make a commitment to yourself. Start small, but stay consistent. It's not about making one grand change overnight. It's about making today count. Every walk, every meal, every phone call with a friend, it matters. If you're ready to take action and make that commitment, I want to hear from you. What's one thing you're going to do differently starting today? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start this journey together and inspire each other to live healthier, longer lives. Thank you so much for being here with me today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more tips and advice on living a long, healthy life. And don't forget to share this video with someone who might need the encouragement to get started on their own journey to better health. Remember, the secret to living a long life isn't just about surviving. It's about thriving. You've got this. Now go out there and live your best life, one small step at a time.